Good morning, St. Paul. This is your Un-Bougie Foodie, Wesley Wright. It's going to be a hot one today, so I hope everyone is getting prepared. I want to thank you so much for already tuning in with me, the Un-Bougie Foodie, on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So if you're having your cup of coffee or cereal, I'm a cereal person, sit back and relax for a little bit and just listen to a bit of information that I have regarding, food. This is a food show, as you know, and as always, we're always going to bring you the pleasures of the table. So whether it be through restaurants, cooking, your local co-ops or farmers markets, that's what this show is about. So if you're not familiar, take a moment and there might be some information that you might find interesting and enjoyable. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank you all for last week. I was supposed to, of course, give out the name of the person that I was currently having a contest. And I guess we're just going to call it the Un-Bougie Foodie dish contest. There were 4 ingredients or 4 different items that I mentioned over the past month of May. Broccoli. Well, the first one was the first one was ramp or wild leeks. The second was broccoli rabe. The third was Thai eggplant, and then the last, more of a protein, because I wanted to make sure that everybody got their meat in there as well, or their protein. It was bison. So had a few submissions, if I want to say. So I really wanted to get an opportunity to announce who that person is, and it is a resident of Apple Valley. Her name is Diane Lee. So thank you so much for your submission. And it was a submission for and again, it did not have to include all of those items. It was 1 or 2 or whichever, but again, as long as you incorporated that specific item into the dish, again, as I mentioned, I was going to offer, in the past weeks, I was going to offer a dinner, on the Un-Bougie Foodie. So she will be getting a $50 gift card, if you would, or gift certificate to my favorite restaurant in East St. Paul, or one of my favorite. I'm going to say, I'm not even going to try to be biased or anything, because it's one of my favorite, because there's so many. It's Tongue in Cheek. So if you have not been to Tongue in Cheek, gosh, they are a wonderful place on Payne Avenue. I think it's Eat on Pain is kind of the hashtag that's being used, and no pain, no gain. Pain being Payne. But yes, Diane, you will actually be getting that $50 gift card to Tongue in Cheek. So definitely look out for that. Again, thank all of the listeners out there that have made submission. And so again, I appreciate your participation. And just look for other either giveaways or contests in the near future. It was an exciting one. It was one that was first for me. Well, there was another one, but this one was really over the air, giving out a specific ingredient and so forth, rather than just asking a simple question and looking for an answer. Here, I wanted to try to get ones in the community involved, and listeners just in general, because this is the cross, the different, however they're listening, however any of our listeners are listening, which we appreciate. One specific one I know is through the TuneIn app. You could hear a live streaming show just by downloading the TuneIn app, and I literally have family members that are listening in California. So yeah, it's possible. Anyway, anyone could be listening. So definitely those in the local community, make sure you're tuning in to 104.7 on your FM dial. Again, that's the WEQY 104.7. But, so it was open to anyone. So anyone made a submission, and sending that to my email, theunbougiefoodie@gmail.com, they had opportunity to get that $50 gift card. And maybe I probably should have mentioned, I don't know how important it is to probably have mentioned what the denomination was. I just mentioned that it was one of my favorite restaurants in the east side of St. Paul. So, lessons learned. But again, I really want to take the time to say thank you all for just your participation in general. And I want to get right into my topic that I wanted to talk about. And it's one that I thought was I guess I had not been to. I guess I've gone to the Wedge before in Uptown. I have not had the opportunity to go to Mississippi Market until recently, like within the past few days. And as you know, within our own community, literally right down the street from WEQY, on 7th Street, they are a co-op. And if you're wondering, okay, well, I've seen that in the past, or we see it driving around the neighborhoods and so forth, and you're like, what is a co-op? So that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. What really is a co-op? When you think about a co-op, or the lengthened word of it is cooperative, if you would. So, and what does it remind you of? Kind of the word cooperation or cooperate and so on. Well, really, likewise, that's what it really is. Specifically, a food co-op or cooperative. It's a food distribution outlet that's organized as a group of people. They usually are, again, consumers. That they make the decisions on production and the distribution of food, and sometimes there are members, not sometimes, there are members. And they have, as with any business or organization that has missions, a mission statement, or principles or guidelines that they follow, well, a food cooperative also has that as well. And you're thinking, okay, well, how does that really come into play with a co-op? Well, yeah, I think it's important to go over those because, maybe you want to be, you're interested in becoming a member of a co-op, or, signing up for a co-op, showing support for your local farmers, cooperatives within your area that are providing you with all the things that they're different from your standard grocery store, because they're foods and items that are less processed or don't have any type of, they have the minimal form of processing on it. And again, typically that's what co-ops offer. Again, they refer to them as natural foods. Natural foods, and like I just touched on, it has, for instance, vegetables, specifically pesticides, or even meat in general. All of these things from your standard grocery store. And again, that's not to take away from going to your standard grocery store, because they're safe as well. However, with co-ops, they make it even more local, rather than having it shipped across country, or being in trailers, or food trailers that have to have those foodstuffs delivered to a particular town or grocery store or so forth. Here it concentrates on local ingredients, again, without any type of or minimal processing, or any type of chemical use. And that's what the appeal is with folks that are interested in a co-op. But again, further on the co-op topic, it started a long time ago. And I shouldn't say a long time ago, because a long time is not, but maybe 1970s, 1980s was when it really started, and it started actually over in England. I think the United States really started to pick that up more so within the late 90s. And definitely, stronger as we've gone into, 2000s. And so they started really in small cities, and then started growing in waves. And again, that movement started, specifically in 1970. About 1970 in England. And then again, it started growing and getting larger and larger. And I think just doing a very overview research, more and more people started getting interested in supporting their local farmers and merchants and so forth. And that's actually what a co-op offers the community. It gives you, as a member, and you don't even have to really be a member to actually shop there, but members do get some type of benefits when it comes down to their membership. But you are getting local farmers that are providing you high quality food and produce, and you go into, and I'll just use Mississippi Market as an example, artisan type of foods, as well as merchandise that are being offered in the co-op. Many times these are at home or small business owners that are probably doing things out of their home, or maybe a small type of facility, but they're trying to have their business remain local, and concentrating more on what their the focus is for the community, and even also providing new things to introduce the community to new products that they might be interested in. But a co-op is, if you're probably interested in it and you're thinking, well, hey, that might be great, it's right here within the community, why don't I look into it? Well, certainly you could go to Mississippi Market's website and just kind of you find out specifically how much that, if you would, I'll say, their membership is. So if you want to go to msmarket.coop, or co-op really, so msmarket, market.coop, that can definitely give you more information on their website to learn more further about the co-op and the local one within your area. It's interesting to note that they are going to be having, and again specifically Mississippi Market, they have 3 locations in St. Paul. Let me see. Well, I already talked about one of them, but the others are located at 622 Selby Avenue in St. Paul. The one again closest to WEQY is 740 East 7th Street, and then another 1500 West 7th Street. So by going to their website, you could certainly find out more information, even further about the co-op, their membership, what's involved in becoming a member, other benefits that they offer when you do subscribe to a membership. But Saturday, June 17th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., they're going to be having a food festival. Local food festival is what they're referring to. Food fest is what they're referring referring to it as. Again, sponsored really by Mississippi Market, and it's going to be at all the locations. So whichever one of the locations that you're nearest to or closest to, you can enjoy, and it is free. So, there's an opportunity for you to find out more about Mississippi Market, and even speak to representatives from Mississippi Market if you have questions. Interestingly enough, they offer classes. They have events, food events that you could also participate in. But the local food fest, again, as I mentioned, is going to be on Saturday, June 17th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they're going to have local farmers, producers, makers of different products or arts, artisan items. There's going to be local food, live jazz, blues, and acoustic music. There will be prizes. So most likely you're going to have to either be there to win. But they are also, which I really enjoy talking about, they are also involving the youths of Urban Roots youth activities, if you would. They'll be offering treats, seasonal produce, recipes. So all of that is going to be open to you, if you would, and accessible to you. So make sure you get a chance to attend that. Again, local food fest Saturday on June 17th, 11 to 2 p.m. And again, it's free to everyone. It's family atmosphere, so you will have the opportunity to take your children and enjoy just a great time. But I'm still going to be talking on the subject of co-op, because you're probably wondering, okay, well, that's Mississippi Market. What other ones are in the area? Well, it's all about research, folks. It's all about research. So while I was in Mississippi Market, they have, it was a flyer, if you would, and I shouldn't even say a flyer. It's, I want to say informational, that is provided, or that was brought to, or made available by local community food co-ops. And Saturday, here's another event that you might be interested in. Again, another free one. It is the Co-op Farm Tour Guide. And it is on a Saturday, July 15th, 2017, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, it is free. So you will be able to really discover where your food comes from, because literally there are 20-something, farms that are going to open their doors so that you could have a self-guided tour and visit and just learn and discover all about co-ops. And you're thinking, okay, well, where are these? You told us about Mississippi Market. There are across a wide area of Minnesota, and some extending into Wisconsin as well too. But the ones that are really participating in this co-op farm tour, and these are the different, I guess you want to say, areas of the state or sections. So there's the northwestern area, there's urban, there's south, there's east, there's northeast. So again, it covers a wide area, very wide area. There again are 27 that they have listed. We already talked about Mississippi Market as being your local co-op, but there are actual farms that you have the opportunity, again, see where that food is coming from and being made available within the co-op. For example, there's one in I'm gonna say, and you have to forgive me because I'm from California, so if I say it wrong, somebody's gonna have to correct me. I think it's Delano, Minnesota, Riverbend Farms, and they are located at 5405 Cedar Avenue Southeast. Again, that's Delano, Minnesota 55328. They offer organic vegetables, local seeds, and cover crops as well. And this guide, if you would, if you're interested, definitely stop by Mississippi Market and grab this guide because it's very informative. It has information on what to expect when you go to each one of these farms, and there's a legend at the bottom that shows you if they sell different products or goods or so forth. Tells you the hours or the open house if it offers that, as well as tour times if they offer music, if you need to use restroom facilities, if those are available, if they offer samples, if they do demos. Certainly giving them, it really gives you knowledge ahead of time before going to these different farms and preparing yourself. But for example, the one that I was mentioning, Riverbend Farms, here they have open house tour and they also offer samples. There are ones that again offer goods for sale. Here's one that's a couple that are local enough. Mississippi mushrooms. So if you like mushrooms and foraging and morel, lobster, chicken of the wood, oyster, yeah, portobello, button, mushrooms, Mississippi mushrooms. They are located at 3750 North Washington Avenue in Minneapolis. And noted, they do state that it's a little complicated to find, but when you do find it, you'll be happy that you did. But they do have signs that direct you to follow the farm tour, so it is helpful. You have a website that they could go to, that you could go to learn more, which is MississippiMushrooms.com. And again, as I mentioned, here's one that offers goods for sale. Goods most likely being mushrooms or any type of versions of or variations of mushrooms that are available. Information on their open house tours, and of course samples. Another is the Bee's Knees. The Bee's Knees, they're a beekeeping enterprise, and I remember months back, gosh, I didn't even know that they had, it was like kind of like a delivery service actually. So if you're looking for honey or anything that is the product of bees, you will be able to find or be able to obtain products through the Bee's Knees. And they again are local. They're within our communities or within our neighborhoods. They are located at 2204 Minnehaha Avenue, and that's 2204 Minnehaha Avenue South. So that's Minneapolis 55404, and you can enter off of 22nd Street. But again, they do their delivery or pedal power is what they're saying. Their social enterprise, and they focus on sustainable beekeeping practices, education, and advocacy. So if you've gone to, and I'm just using this as an example, the state fair, and there is like one, I think it's just like a building that's specifically dedicated to anything, or maybe one side, I won't say the entire building, but one side of a building that is totally dedicated to bees. And there really are bees in there, and you see them in their honeycombs and products that have been made from honey, items that have been baked goods, recipes using honey, for either glazes or there's even medicinal purposes, just so you know. So if you're from, hopefully, well, even if you're not from, no matter where you're from, you probably have used honey for some type of medicinal purpose. Now, of course, too much of it is not good for you either, because that can make you sick. But yeah, speaking from a Central American type of background, I know that honey and lemon mixed together, if you have a cough or sore throat, yeah, that helps soothe that. Acts as almost like a natural cough suppressant. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, but that is just giving you an idea of the type of places or farms that we have available in our neck of the woods. I mean, there again are so many different other places too that we could talk about, or that I could mention, that offer fruits, other vegetables, flowers, an actual that deal with, I'm going to say, livestock. So ducks, pigs, chickens. Yeah, that one, it's in Faribault. But make sure grab that co-op farm tour. Remember that it's on Saturday, July 15th, 2017, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's free. And not only will you have the opportunity to, get some product, but you'll be able to learn some things as well. Again, more importantly, you can make that decision if you are interested in subscribing for membership to a co-op, but just educating yourself and knowing where your produce or your meats and so forth are coming from, and then knowing that you could go, for example, to Mississippi Market to get those local those products, whether it be produce or meats, other vegetables, dairy, so on and so forth. But if you're also interested too in finding out how many or the other co-ops within Minnesota, there is a website that you can actually go to, and it is referred to as the National Co-op of Grocers. And that website, to learn more about that, is www.ncg.coop. So that's N as in Nancy, C, G as in girl, .coop. And if you go to find a co-op on that page, you will be able to actually scroll all the way down. And when you get to Minnesota, I mean, literally, you have a list of at least 20 to 30 co-ops that most likely you could find across the cities. One that is closest to you. Again, I already mentioned Mississippi Market, but ones that I know that I've heard of, Good Earth, Harvest Moon, Linden Hills, Seward Community, the Wedge, Wedge Table, Whole Foods. Also, the Whole Foods, they have one in Duluth. I guess there are different, I suppose that's townships or counties. Some of them are a little bit different, but certainly by going onto the website, you'll be able to find your local co-op and engross yourself in the local foods that they offer. I was really not surprised. I was really happy that I went. I was looking specifically for one type of vegetable, if you would. And although they didn't have it, because I think I've gone too late in the season for it, still, it was really, really nice. The vegetables looked very fresh, And so shout out to Mississippi Market for that. So thank you all very much. Make sure that again, check out that co-op farm tour guide. And also Mississippi Market, they have, I guess, a monthly magazine that they produce. And it's called Taste for Life. Pick that up too, because within that magazine, gosh, there are a number of recipes that you can check out. And man, I've not seen these before, so I was like, dang, I am really interested in making a few of these. And there's one specific one that's in here. It's called raw cauliflower tabouleh. I don't believe I've had tabouleh before, but looking at the ingredients, and pictures are worth 1,000 words, and it makes things so not just appealing, but it makes you interested in wanting to do a particular dish. That one, just looking at it, looks delicious. I'm looking at chunks of cauliflower and, gosh, fennel, mint, cucumbers, okra. I tell you. There's another one called there's an Asian noodle bowl. It's simple. I'm not familiar with what cashew gado sauce. So that's probably something that I'm gonna look into, maybe even tell you all about or talk to you all about. So yeah, check them out as well. But certainly these different recipes that are available, they're health conscious. They give you ideas using produce or products that come from your local farmers as well. So don't feel that you don't have the knowledge to do to cook something, or always have to go by a recipe. What have I always said? I've always said that a recipe is really just a foundation for you to start your creativity. Make it yours. Really make it yours. Okay, so just so you all know, I know weeks ago, how long ago was it? It was a while ago. I went to what was that? It was at CHS Field, and we went to I want to say the bar. Rib Fest. It was the Grill Fest. My mind this morning. It was the Rib Fest, and it was at CHS Field, and there was a vendor that was there. Vendor meaning just restaurant person. That was, the food was really good. It was only a bite, because and not even a bite. It was more than a bite. It was a slider, but it was a good enough slider, a large enough slider that it was like, wow, okay, this is really, really good. And that was Dickey's barbecue pit. And like how I switched that over, I always try to bring in the food or the cuisine that is good for the season. And we're talking about summer. We're getting into the summertime. But another 2 weeks, we're going to really be into summer. So why not talk about barbecue? Yeah, barbecue. Dickey's barbecue pit. They are actually they're open now over in the East St. Paul area. There are other Dickeys throughout the state. Maple Grove, Burdensville, Eagan, but now there is one available in the East St. Paul area. So if you are familiar with the Sunray shopping center, That is where they're located. Their address is 2113 Old Hudson Road. Again, that's St. Paul 55119. And if you want to find out more information about Dickey's, you can go to dickeys.com and just look online and check out their menu. I know that I enjoyed that. It was a pulled pork slider that they had. Oh gosh, it was so good. But their meat is all slow cooked, hickory wood. They're on-site pits that are done daily. They provide the highest quality of meats, and they, with that quality of, they have that reputation of wanting to serve the meat at its highest form, at its best form. And if they're not happy with it, they're not going to serve it. That's how it should be at every restaurant anyway. But they offer just a few things that they offer: pork ribs, beef brisket, of course chicken, turkey, and they offer sandwiches. And certainly, what is a barbecue place without offering any type of sides? Yeah. So you can't go up and say, oh no, we only offer this. No. You need to offer your sides as well. So, wide variety of sides that are available. Now, interestingly enough, they have something on their menu called jalapeno beans. Now, I know that seems like self-explanatory, and maybe I have had that, but it's interesting to find out how the Midwest or restaurants in the Midwest will prepare a certain dish or a side dish or whatnot. So, I'm interested in probably finding out about them. Well, just from the taste that I had at, the Grill Fest, it was quite good. It was quite good. But, we're on the subject of barbecue. And you're thinking, okay, well, there are so many different places around town. Months ago, I talked about, gosh, I remember it was probably around maybe my first show. I talked about Ted Cook's 19th hole on 38th. That was some good barbecue. I had rib tips. It was delicious. And you know what? As always, it's important to know that we have callers that could call in. So I know that I have a caller. Hello, caller. How are you? What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Beverly and I'm calling from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, Beverly.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am feeling great. How are you?
I'm good. What did you want to talk about today on the Un-Bougie Foodie?
Well, I was so happy.
You all don't already know. This is my sister. Love my sister. Thanks, she's calling in. She's a frequent caller, so thank you so much. What's up?
Well, I was so happy to hear you talking about Dickey's. Because there's a Dickey's here in Vegas. And the things you were saying, like, I had to say, that's one of my favorite barbecue places. And to know that their consistency has traveled all the way to Minnesota. I mean, Dickey's has been around for a really long time.
Yep.
I didn't realize that there was some in Minnesota, but my God, the food is so good. I don't even eat brisket, but I eat it from there. I love barbecue, and the way that they prepare it really comes through in the taste. You can taste that it was slow cooked. You have the choices of all the different kinds of sauces. It's just, their beans that they make. It even tastes cold the next day.
Okay, so you probably heard me, or maybe you didn't hear me, but I was talking about, now you know where we come from, or
right.
Our background, our culture, or whatever. When I was mentioning that when we go when I here in the Midwest, it's possible that people might cook beans a little bit differently. And they have a dish on the website that's for beans. It's jalapeno beans. And Daddy has cooked beans so many different types of ways. So I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know what kind of beans this might be. I'm interested in finding out, but
it's very different. Not very different. I want to say that the consistency of it is. I don't want to put it down by saying like it's like pork and beans, but the consistency. Just think of that, and then go up. It's thicker and richer, and when you bite the beans, there's no hardness. There's just the tenderness of it, but you can definitely taste the flavor. It's really good. And what I like about it, too, is that it's affordable. You can go there and be full. You can feed your family or just, satisfy yourself. Like if you want to try a little of this, a little of that. They have sausages that they cook, and they cut them up for you. Oh, my goodness.
And see, that's a good thing to hear coming from someone that really has been a consumer and has been there, and to know that, okay, how, what does it cost? Can I go there?
Very reasonable.
And go there and enjoy, a meal with my family, and not kind of like, okay, my entire
break
paycheck is gone.
Right.
Exactly. So, I appreciate you calling and kind of like confirming that and everything. What was the best thing that you had from them, though? Because I wish that you were here for Grill Fest, because then you would have had an opportunity to see what they had. They had a pulled
I wished I was there for Grill Fest.
Exactly. They had a pulled pork slider that was, it was awesome.
Well, I'm a pork girl, and
we both are. Hello, it runs
right.
in the family.
It's really good, bro. I really can't tell you. My favorite, of course, is the ribs, and I like that they're kind of naked. They have their own flavor without the different kinds of sauces, and that's my favorite. The ribs are my favorite. They're so tender, and even though they fall off the bone when they engage with your mouth. They're not just like sitting in the, you know what I mean? They're not just sitting in the plate and you touch the bone and then the meat, sometimes that's good too, but in this instance, they fall off the bone when you bite into it, and it's just so good, and that's my favorite.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. It really is, because here we're talking about it, and we're like, okay, well, I'm encouraging people to go over there. They just opened, or I won't say just, but they now have opened over in, the east side in St. Paul. You know where the radio station is. So
east side.
But of course, they now have one that's in the community, or that's nearby, where you
That's awesome.
So those that have not had the opportunity to taste Dickey's, certainly, here you have somebody over in Vegas. So shout out to Vegas and my sister calling in. But confirming that Dickey's barbecue pit is really an awesome place, to enjoy a really great meal, affordable meal. But I was getting into the subject of barbecue, and you're on the air with me, and I just got to ask you, you're in Vegas at the moment. Yeah, except that was kind of like throwing you under the bus or something like that. Not really, but I love you. But are there any like rib places there? Well, okay, that just came out wrong because you're just already talking about Dickey's. But what other place have you heard or seen or even gone to in Vegas?
I can see the sign in my mind. Now, Vegas is known for Vegas. So there's lots of more upscale places that, you can go to within casinos or hotels. But there's a place that's inside, of all places, Sam's Town. I'm going up towards Henderson, that serves some mean, like barbecue type steaks, and I can't remember the name. I feel bad that I'm doing it as such an injustice. I'm going to have to get back to you. There's another place too when I was living in Green Valley that we would go to all the time. I was just mad at the portions. It was too much portion control for me, but it was really good. I can't think of the name.
But see,
and hey, were you here when we went somewhere with Beth's family, and they took us to a barbecue place?
I don't think I was. I can't recall that at all.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But that just gives you more reason to have to call in again.
Absolutely.
And provide some additional information. You know, we're just going to kind of like start calling you the roving reporter for me over in another state.
Okay. I can do that.
You never know. It may have to happen because, you know, it really, you know, being that, you know, this is a show where you're able to listen, you know, download the TuneIn app and hear it, you know, live. It could be anywhere, in any state, you know, so there can be individuals or opportunities for, like yourself, you might be able to tell us a little bit what's going on in Vegas, because you never know. Folks here in Minnesota, St. Paul, or wherever might want to go to a specific town, and what is the, you know, next or newest thing in that particular town. And even though, you know, again, we concentrate and focus on the east side of St. Paul and, you know, the surrounding neighborhoods and communities, still, you know,
there's absolutely a possibility that someone from Minnesota might visit Vegas and want to have that home feel.
And that's the importance of it too. So that's what we're looking for too. So yeah, there's going to be other topics or other times where we're going to be talking about barbecue, because like I said, we are just starting. Summer really hasn't even hit yet. What? Summer's supposed to start on the 24th or the 20th or something. Anyway,
the 21st.
We
keep up the good work, Mr. Un-Bougie Foodie. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you again.
All right.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye. And there you have it. Someone that was not planned. I love spontaneity. My sister calling in from Vegas, confirming again that Dickey's is a great establishment to get barbecue and what they offer. I was going to go into another place, which I was told I have not been, but they are located, it's barbecue, so you know, it's family-owned restaurant, but they are located in Shakopee. And the place is called Mr. Pig Stuff. Yes, I said it. Mr. Pig Stuff. No. I'm feeling kind of good this morning. But the address to Mr. Pig Stuff is 1561 First Avenue East. That's Shakopee, Minnesota 55379. Yeah, Mr. Pig Stuff. I was told about this by a coworker, actually. And I went to their website, and again, pictures worth 1,000 words. I might have even talked about Mr. Pig Stuff some time ago, but again, we're talking on the subject of barbecue and so forth, and yeah, just want to bring that up and mention it, because certainly, yeah, they are a place that you should go to. So Mr. Pig Stuff, 1561 First Street East, or First Street Avenue, First Avenue East. Wow, Wesley. 1561 First Avenue East. That's in Shakopee, 55379. You could certainly go to their website, mrpigstuff.com, to learn more about the different menu items that they have available. Kids menus are available, lunch specials. So yeah, visit them and check out the food that they offer. We'll talk about more in the upcoming weeks. More barbecue places, more restaurants, and just in general. But again, summer's coming up, and it's sun hot out there. This weekend alone, we're supposed to be like in the 90s. So yeah, gosh, why not get out there and have some? You don't have to cook it. let someone else do it, and just enjoy the savoriness of the meats, whether it be chicken, beef, pork, the sweetness of the barbecue sauce, and any other fixings that come along with it. There are other barbecue places that I haven't even touched on, and those that are barbecue experts, I'm going to say experts because I am not an expert on barbecue, but I long to learn and just find out how to do this process and get to that level. I mean, there's grilling, of course, but then there's barbecue, so that's where I want to be. So I think if there's anybody out there that wants to kind of like take a foodie under their wing and just kind of, hey, we're going to take a couple of hours and I'm going to teach you some stuff, I'm all game. So get at me. Oh my goodness. As always, I really want to thank you all once again for joining us. We're getting close to the top of the hour. I wanted to just mention, if you're interested in leaving a comment or a shout out about the show or topics that we talk about on the show, please do so. Visit the Un-Bougie Foodie on Facebook, or send an email with any type of suggestions or comments to the unbougiefoodie@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. And if anything, answer questions about the show, or a suggestion about a restaurant in your local neighborhood. I do research. I really do research. And I will be honest too, if I've not been to some place, I'll research it and then come back to you and let you know about it. So that's one thing. I'm not going to give you information about a place that I have not tried yet, or at least talk about it in the manner of, oh, this place is really good. Yeah. I try to make sure that information is, knowledge is power. So I'm going to make sure that I get that knowledge by having some of those wonderful dishes at a particular restaurant, and then pass it on to you so that you could be just as excited and enjoy that foodie experience, hopefully by listening to a weekly show of the Un-Bougie Foodie every Saturday at 10 a.m. only on WEQI. So if you're again interested, I will actually have a picture of, again, shout out to Diane Lee in Apple Valley. Thank you so much. You'll see that $50 gift card to Tongue in Cheek in the mail. Thank you so much for your submission, and all those that have submitted recipes and pictures and so forth. Really do appreciate your being involved and participating. But more so, again, as always, I want to thank all those across social media networks and so forth that are listening to the show, or that have either left a message, liked a post, or left a comment about perhaps a product, or not a product, a dish that maybe I may have had or may have made myself. Thank you so much for your support. It's appreciated greatly. As we come to the end of the show, again, make sure you tune in every week on Saturday at 10 a.m. and listen to the Un-Bougie Foodie, where, again, I'm always going to bring you information about either new foods or new places that are exciting for you to visit and go to within your community, or within the St. Paul community, specifically on the east side. If ever you have any type of questions, please feel free to give us a call here at the radio station at 651-200-3479. But more importantly, too, just thank you for tuning in. As I end every show, I want to encourage you never to let anyone tell you what kind of foodie to be, because really, it is all about the food. And until next time, when we bring you more pleasures of the table, have a good one.